Developing overnight, House Speaker Mike Johnson, one of the Republicans most responsible for Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election, met the former president to cast doubt on the 2024 election, stoking fears about something that is already illegal. A warning, what you are about to watch and hear is a lie.
There's so many millions of illegals in the country that if only 1 out of 100 voted, they would cast potentially hundreds of thousands of votes in the election.
Okay, so here are the facts. The Conservative Heritage Foundation found 89 instances of legal action involving non-citizens voting between 2003 and 2023. 89 instances over 20 years. Joining us now, former Illinois Congressman and 2020 presidential candidate Joe Walsh. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Joe. So, Joe, the lies just keep coming. They just keep coming. And the fact is, Heritage, the pantheon of conservative,
no liberal think tank.
Yeah, exactly. These guys laid it out. They did the study. 89 instances of illegal immigrants voting in elections. So why do they continue to perpetuate the lie? What is the end game here, aside from Johnson going down to get some cover on his behind? But the reality of it is they're there to promote the setup for 2024, right? Am I wrong? Am I missing something?
They're trying to scare the hell out of Donald Trump's supporters. The end game is violence. It's absurd, right, that Donald Trump is talking about election integrity. But, Michael, the scary, serious, dangerous point is Trump wants violence. He did this in 2020. I'll never forget. When I was in my talk radio days, in May of 2020, he first said, before the election, either I will win or it will be stolen from me. He's doing that now.
On steroids.
On steroids. And what he's doing is he's fomenting, again, anger and unrest among his supporters so that if he loses, there will be violence. Think about what I just said. The Republican nominee for president, Michael, wants there to be violence if he loses.
And this is the space we're in. So,
yes.
So what's the countermeasure? What do we see are countermeasures? Simone has got the look. Simone just gave me the look.
To crazy trying to steal an election? What is the counter? What is the countermeasure to the false claims? What is the countermeasure to the lies? One can argue truth and light, honey, but I don't know. He keeps telling it. This is. I feel like I say this all the time. This is insane because it is not legal to vote if you are not a citizen of the United States of America.
Right.
Congress has already passed legislation for that way back before, I could even, go to school, okay?
Right.
Back in the 90s, I think they did this. Right, Michael? I don't know. Michael's old enough to be my father. We joke about this all the time.
Sure.
So now, according to, after, Donald Trump and his insurrection buddy, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, after they had their meeting, now apparently House Republicans are going to pursue legislation requiring proof of citizenship to vote. My question is, so we're going to show proof to Miss Susie at the polling place? How is Miss Susie going to verify? Are we asking people to bring their papers? This is America. So I just want to know, is this what all of the House Republicans want to lay their chips on, even the 18 that sit in districts that Joe Biden won in 2020?
What strikes me is this is the long tail of a long-time Republican effort to make it harder to vote, because they know that some of those requirements, having to show a license, they disproportionately impact communities of color. And what's interesting to me is they also disproportionately impact older Americans.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes,
So,
yes.
And that's the part that you would think that Republicans would be more attuned to strategically.
But I think the bigger, broader, scarier point, Alicia, is this is all to breed distrust in our elections process.
Yeah.
I mean, make no mistake, I still engage with the Republican Party base every single day. I know 70 to 80% of them don't believe Biden really won. But that hardcore base, the 40 to 50%, they no longer trust our elections. Trump is doing this on purpose. Distrust then will lead to violence. It happened in 2020.
Let's just zoom out, though. Can we talk about why Mike Johnson is visiting the president at Mar-a-Lago and the position he finds himself in? I mean, we could have forecasted this when he took over the speakership.
Yeah, because he's weak.
He's weak.
And the strongest
By design.
by design. The weakest person, the strongest person in the United States Congress today is Marjorie Taylor Greene, not him.
Well, strongest Republican.
Yeah, the strongest Republican.
Because I would argue, I almost called him Speaker Jeffries. Might as well be Speaker Jeffries in quotes.
The strongest Republican in the caucus is Marjorie Taylor Greene, not Mike Johnson. And everyone in the room knows it. So he goes to Mar-a-Lago, very much like Kevin McCarthy had to go to Mar-a-Lago to get the appropriate blessings so as to save the bacon. Now, the reality of Kevin McCarthy was he went down after January 6th, but he couldn't go again because Donald Trump was done with him. And right now, Donald Trump sees probably Mike Johnson as a much more useful player for him than Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because if he wanted him gone, he would have just unleashed the Kraken, and Marjorie Taylor Greene would have put that bill in with privilege. In which case the seat would be vacant. So there is a little bit of that kind of effect that Donald Trump has, but the reality for Johnson is he needs Trump more than Trump needs him.
He's weak and Trump is strong. When McCarthy went down there right after January 6th, that was weirdly one of Trump's weakest moments.
Right.
And McCarthy still went down there.
And gave Trump the power.
And the credibility. Can we just talk for a minute how remarkable it is that an unelected individual, is currently holding the reins to the United States Congress. Donald Trump is not the president. I have to keep saying, I can't even believe I have to keep saying, what is going on? Donald Trump is not the president. Yet, with one social media post, because we can't call it a truth, but I guess that's what we call it, his posts now, truths. With one post on his social site, with one phone call, he can append what the caucus is doing. I did Meet the Press Now yesterday, and I was sitting next to Mark Short, who, before he worked for Pence as the chief of staff, he was the Ledge Affairs director at the White House under Trump. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that, Mark. And he said that he would wake up some mornings and Donald Trump would have tweeted while he was president, and he's got members calling him saying, well, why? I thought he supported the bill. Why is he tweeting this? So it's like Groundhog's Day. But Donald Trump, the caucus is allowing Donald Trump to run them, and they're not getting anything out of it. They're not passing any legislation. Heck, he take the FISA stuff this week, and it wasn't even the right FISA. Like, can we just?
Can you walk us through the TikTok of that? Because when you come to this question of the fact that he's trying to make this election about Joe Biden's mental acuity, when in reality it is Donald Trump who continues to get confused about things. So 2018,
we have a graphic.
Yes, he brags. Just signed the 702 bill to reauthorize foreign intelligence collection. This is not the same FISA law that was so wrongly abused during the election. Then on Wednesday, he writes, kill FISA. It was illegally used against me and many others. They spied on the campaign. And as you have Fox News pointing out, he confused Section 702 with Title I. I mean, he's not even clear on what he's doing.
He has no idea what he's talking about. He's not the president, but we've never been here before. He's the leader of the party. And my former party, Michael, your current party, is a cult. And he is the cult leader. And because he has this hold on the base, period. And every other Republican is afraid of that.
So, Joe, what does the landscape look like going into November, knowing that you have a party that is all about lying to the public? I'm going to say broadly, it's not just their base. So I think we need to disabuse ourselves of thinking that, this is just only being heard by his base. It's a broader effort to lie to the public, to set up a violent end to this campaign. What should or could we be doing now to reinforce what's happening in states around the country with secretaries of states and boards of elections who are trying to shore up to avoid the very thing that Donald Trump and certain Republicans want to have happen?
It happened. It will happen again. Something like January 6th will happen again. And so, Michael, as you said, all of the elections officials around the state, the secretary of states around the country, and I think Joe Biden's got a tough spot, is in a tough spot because he's got to defeat Donald Trump. But the Democrats have to kind of lead on this and take this mantle. Again, it's all about saving democracy because it really is under threat. I think it's an opportunity for Democrats, Michael, to expand this coalition to save this democracy. And this is part of it. Trump is calling for violence. Think about that again. One of our nominees for president wants there to be violence if he loses. Do you think Joe Biden would want that if he lost? Hell no.
And
We've never had this.
And that's the thing. You said it the last time you were with us. This is not normal.
I went to bed that night.
Right.
That's
This is not normal.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.